You are watching Forbidden Files. In today's video, we are discussing the Pantheon in Rome should have collapsed 1800 years ago. This building is 1800 years old. It was built without steel, without computers, without any of the engineering tools we rely on today. And according to modern structural engineers, it should not be standing. The dome you are looking at right now is the largest unreinforced concrete dome ever built. No steel rods inside. Modern architects have studied it for decades. And here is what they found. The Pantheon dome should not be able to bear its own weight. By every modern calculation, it should have cracked, buckled and collapsed centuries ago. Instead, it is perfectly intact. Not restored, not rebuilt, the original structure standing since 125 AD. The Pantheon was built by Emperor Hadrian around 125 AD. On the site of an earlier temple, the name means temple to all gods in Greek. For nearly 1900 years, it has served as a temple, a church, a tomb, and now one of the most visited buildings on earth. That perfect sphere proportion was deliberate. Roman architects designed it intentionally, a symbolic gesture, representing the perfection of the cosmos. But the more engineers have studied the Pantheon, the more they have realized something extraordinary. The Romans did not just build beautifully, they solved engineering problems that we still struggle to fully explain, using materials and methods that should not have worked. To understand the engineering mystery, you need to understand what the dome is actually doing. A dome is one of the most efficient shapes in architecture. It distributes weight outward and downward along its curved surface rather than straight down like a flat ceiling. But concrete has a weakness. It is extremely strong when you compress it, squeeze it together, but it is very weak under tension. When you try to pull it apart, here is the problem with the Pantheon dome. That enormous weight creates tension forces near the base of the dome, forces that want to push the walls outward and crack the concrete apart. In modern construction, engineers solve this with steel reinforcement bars, rebar embedded inside the concrete. The steel handles the tension, the concrete cannot. The Pantheon has no rebar, no steel, nothing inside the concrete. And yet not a single crack runs through the base of that dome. How? Roman engineers solved a seemingly impossible problem, and they did it with at least 3 separate ingenious techniques working together. Secret number 1 is about the dome gets thinner as it rises. By placing most of the mass low down, the Romans moved the center of gravity down, dramatically reducing the tension forces near the base. And the secret number 2 is about the concrete recipe changes at every level. Roman concrete, called opus cementium, was not one single mixture. The Pantheon uses different aggregate materials at different height. The lower sections use heavy basalt and bricks. The middle section use lighter tufa and brick. The very top sections use pumice, volcanic rocks so light it float on water. This graduated weight reduction was not accidental. It was a calculated engineering decision made nearly 1900 years ago. And the secret number 3 is about the comfort. Sealing removes mass without losing strength. Look at the inside of the Pantheon dome and you will see 140 square recessed panels called coffers arranged in 5 rings. They look decorative, they are not decorative. Each coffer removes a section of concrete from the dome, reducing the total weight by an estimated 5,000 tons while maintaining structure. But here is where it gets even more remarkable. Roman concrete, the exact mixture used in the Pantheon, has turned out to be chemically superior to modern concrete in a way we did not understand until very recently. Modern concrete lasts about 50 to 100 years before it begins to crack and degrade. Roman concrete used in sea walls, harbors and structures like the Pantheon has lasted nearly 2000 years and is in many cases still getting stronger. The secret ingredient is volcanic ash. specifically type called pozzolana, found near Rome. When mixed with seawater or lime, it creates a rare mineral called tobermonerite that grows crystals inside the concrete sealing cracks before they spread. Modern concrete uses Portland cement. Developed in 1820s, it is cheaper, faster to set, and easier to mass produce, but it does not self-heal. It does not grow stronger with age, and it will not last 2000 years. The Romans had a better recipe and we lost it for nearly 1500 years. Here is what makes this story more than just an architecture lesson. The Pantheon was built at a time when humans had no computers, no structural analysis software, no material science laboratories, and no understanding of atomic chemistry. And yet Roman engineers produced a dome that had stood for 1895 years without reinforcement. Uses a concrete formula that outperforms anything we mass produce today. Was designed with a mathematical precision that serves both structural and symbolic purpose simultaneously. The Romans built things meant to last forever, and they understood something about materials, weights, and structures that took us nearly 2000 years to rediscover in a laboratory. Every day, thousands of tourists walk into the Pantheon and look up at that dome. Most of them see a beautiful old building, but what they are really standing inside is a 1900 years old engineering problem that modern science has only just started to understand. A dome that should have fallen centuries ago, held up by a recipe, a calculation, and an instinct for structure that we are still trying to fully explain. The next time someone tells you ancient people were primitive, ask them to build something that lasts 2000 years ago. If this changed how you see ancient history, subscribe and follow the Forbidden Files. Every file we open reveals something they never taught in school, and we have 27 more in queue.